I was watching television while I was talking to my chief of staff, and Jim Michalczewski was reporting from the Pentagon, and while he was reporting, he announced he had just heard a loud explosion on the other side of the building. It was that time my chief of staff had alerted me. They had been doing some work that there was, most of the airlines were being grounded, but there was an airliner or two still in the skies in and around Cleveland, and obviously we know that one, where that one ended up. It took me probably 2 or 3 hours to get clearance from the FAA to hop into a state police helicopter to fly from Erie back to Harrisburg. Went immediately to the operations center. We had everybody in place. I mean, from the president on down, no one was sure if there was going to be a sequence of additional events. We had everybody in place. I then hopped on an Army Chinook helicopter, flew out to Shanksville, expecting to see what we normally see at commercial aviation accident sites, major pieces of fuselage wing engines strewn all over the place. There was none. It was a big smoldering hole. I can close my eyes and see dozens of firemen and volunteers and ambulances who had rushed to the scene hours before, hoping to help, hoping they're survivors, hoping they could do what they've been trained to do, and that save lives. But they remained for hours and hours, not in both in sympathy and in wonder and in anger and a little confusion, and nobody could quite understand what was going on. We then had this major press conference. I don't know how many cameras are there.
88.
Yeah, it seemed to me like the whole world was in Shanksville. And so that was the day. There was a day that challenged America's character. But we know of people, Americans, who rushed into buildings in the Twin Towers, who lost their lives, firemen and people off the street. We know people get injured and lost their lives helping their friends in the Pentagon. We know that people rushed to the scene in Shanksville to help, but there was nothing they could do. So it was a day that's still very, very vivid in my mind, and I suspect, even though you may not have been in New York or at the Pentagon or certainly with me in Shanksville, it is probably a fairly vivid memory in the back of your mind as well.